How to use and take care of our paints. The tools you will need are a brush, a cap, a towel or paper towel, your artwork, and your paints, and you might also have a mixing plate. Your water cup should only be filled halfway to the imaginary line. If it is filled too high, you're more likely to spill your water. To start, most of our paints might be dry when you get them, and to use them we need to get them wet. To do this, we need to use our paintbrush so we can keep clean. Pay attention to your paintbrush. The hair should always be smooth and tall. You can keep this way by being gentle when you brush your hair against something, and they shouldn't spread out like crazy hair because that would be a bad hair day. Alright? Before we paint, we want to make sure our brush is clean, so we need to put it in our water cup and brush it against the bottom of the cup 3 times. If you want to dry your brush, you are not going to tap your brush because that's can cause a spill or will splash water everywhere. Instead, you're going to wipe your paintbrush against the towel. If you do spill or put too much water on your paper, you're going to take your towel and you're going to dab up the water to dry it up. Also, do not pour the water into the paint, as this will cause the paint to dissolve and crack, kind of like my white has, and make it harder to use later. These cakes can break, as you can see, so be nice that they stay nice and easy to use. Once we know our paintbrush is clean, we can take our wet brush and tickle the paint by rubbing our brush lightly against the color area in our paints. The more we rub, the more color will be on our brush. If your paints are dirty, you can fix this by taking your brush and going back and forth, rinsing your brush, then rubbing it against the paint until the paint is clean. You can also wipe it away the wet, dirty water with a towel, just like we did on the table. Once we have paint on our brush, we can paint our artwork. Let's make sure to keep clean and only paint our art paper. Make smooth, soft strokes to fill in the areas of your paper. The metal or wood of your plastic parts of your brush should not touch the paper. And we don't want to rub back and forth or press too hard because this can cause our brush to have a bad hair day. And also, if you rub in the same spot for too long or too hard, you might make a hole in your paper. If we want more paint or if we want to switch colors, we always want to rinse our brush first. That way our paintbrush is clean. And so our paint pattern will be rinse in water, rub the paint, paint the paper. Now try saying it with me. Rinse the brush, rub the paint, paint the paper. We'll always have that pattern no matter how we're painting. Alright? If we don't get water every time, our paint on our paper might start looking dry and scratchy. And we don't want it to be dry and scratchy. So always make sure you're getting more water by rinsing and then getting your paint. If we want to make a different mark, like dots, we can take our brush and lightly tap the tip of our brush against the paper. Splattering or flicking paint is too messy. It'll get everywhere. To mix colors, you want to either have your paper or a mixing plate, and you can mix in either of these. To do this, you need to follow the paint pattern of rinse, rub, then put the paint into the spot you plan to mix the color by rinse. And I'm going to demonstrate both. I'm rubbing the color into the spot I want it to be. Rinsing again. I'm going to do the same color so I can show you on the paper. Rubbing against the paint and then painting my paper. Now for the second color, I'm rinsing my brush. I'm choosing a different color. Do blue this time. Rubbing against the paint. And then mixing the two together to make a new color. And I'll show you what that looks like on paper too. So rinsing my brush, getting the paint by rubbing very nicely, and then I can rub it in the same spot to try and get a new color. If we don't rinse our brush between colors, all of our colors will start to turn muddy and gross. You'll see this a lot more when we go into the art room, as some of our paints haven't been taken care of very well sometimes. Or they just get messy because everybody's using them too much. When we are done painting, we want to make sure to pour our dirty water into the sink or rocks and then turn everything in where it belongs. That might be on your table so I can pick it up. It might be on my cart, or it might be in our storage areas when we return to class. All right, good luck painting. Have a good day.